You're listening to The Monetized Mom, the podcast that teaches moms of faith how to monetize their expertise online to create influence, impact, income, and more importantly, financial independence. I'm your host, Flo Alexander. Let's chat. Hey mama, if you're listening to this, I know one thing about you. You want to be able to exit your corporate career so that you can spend more time with your spouse and kids, have the freedom to travel and live life on your own terms, all while creating real transformation and impact in the lives of others with your expertise. Well, you're in luck. I just released a new case study on the method moms are using to build a profitable online business, make a full-time income from home, and quit their 9-to-5. You can access it now at themonetizedmom.com/study. That's themonetizedmom.com/study. Again, themonetizedmom.com/study. Let's get on with the show. Everyone is saying that they are getting the bag, but no one is telling how they did it. And so I am giving the play today. We're talking about how to hit your first 10 to 15K month as a coach, as a consultant, as an expert. And here's the thing, it's not as complicated as you think. So I'm going to talk about how you can do it without a webinar, without a challenge, without a complicated funnel. So here's the thing, getting to your first 5-figure month as a coach isn't complicated. Now, I did not say that it is easy. I did not say that it is automatic. I did not say that it is not without challenge. But I did say that it is simple. It is not complicated. And I'm going to be showing you how to do it without complicating things. All right. In fact, I think that the strategy is so simple that we try to complicate things just to justify why we get the results. Like we feel like we have to work hard in order to get such great results, when in actuality, the strategy and what I'm about to tell you, the things that you need to do is quite simple. Okay. But keep in mind, I want you to keep this in mind. You might want to write this down, save it for later. The genius is actually in simplicity, okay? Genius is actually in simplicity. It's not in complicating things. It's not in big words. It is in simplicity. So I'm going to give you 5 simple things that you need to do in order to hit your first 5K, your first 10K, your first 15K and beyond month as a coach, consultant, expert. And some of these tips are even going to span towards people who are not necessarily in that those industries, but these things will be applicable to you in business in general. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. So first things first, I want you to be taking notes. First things first, you need to focus on solving one profitable problem. Solving one profitable problem. Here's what I mean by that. You need to identify the specific problem that your ideal clients have and will pay you to solve. Okay. You need to identify one specific problem that your ideal client has and will pay you to solve. Nothing will hurt your cash flow more than a lack of clarity. Okay? People have to know how you can help them. They have to know what problem they have that you are able to solve. So what is the specific problem that you can solve? I cannot say this enough. What is the specific problem that you can solve? We have to get away from the fluff, y'all. We got to get away from the fluff. And let me say this as a preface to everything that I'm going to talk about today. All of these things are things that I had to learn in order to get to this point in my business. Okay. So nothing I'm saying is like talking at you or telling you something that I have not learned first on my own. Okay. So let me go ahead and put that disclaimer in there. I'm not making up stuff. This is all stuff that I've learned. Okay. So with that said, we got to get away from the fluff. All right. We got to get away from saying things like, I help moms release their inner dragon so that they can live life unapologetically. That means absolutely nothing. And I see it so many times when I'm on social media and I'm going on profiles of other coaches and looking at people like, y'all, at the end of the day, I'm also a consumer. So when I'm looking for people that I may want to invest in, this is the type of stuff that I'm seeing. And we got to get away from that fluff. Okay. You have to be able to articulate very clearly the problem that you solve for people. And you using big words and metaphors and similes and all other types of, fluffy language, right, is not helping you get clients. what that is doing is actually turning people away. So if you're struggling to get those clients, if you're struggling to enroll people, you need to check to make sure that you are clearly articulating the specific problem that you're able to solve for people. Okay. So I'll give you guys an example of this. Like I said, I'm a consumer. So I had this mom coach. She reached out to me. She was, I'm sure, doing some organic outreach. Somebody probably from her admin team or something reached out to me. And I remember looking at her profile and I had no clue what she did. Like on the profile, it said mom coach, but like in the description, it was something fluffy like I help moms feel liberated. But I was like, girl, I don't know what that means. First of all, why are you in my DMs? Second of all, I don't know what it means. And so the very next question that I asked her, I was like, so what do you do exactly? And then she tried to explain it more and more. And it was like this long paragraph. And at that point, I was just like, you cannot clearly articulate the problem that you're actually solving, and you've already lost me. So if someone is engaging with you or asking you questions, if you tell them what you do and the first question that they ask is, what does that mean? That is a problem. That means that you have not clearly articulated the specific problem that you are able to solve. And ultimately, that probably means that you've lost a client. If you got to go into a whole nother paragraph explaining what your one sentence should mean, you are not clear enough on the specific problem that you solve. Okay. So someone coming to your social media profile, someone coming to your sales page, someone coming to your website, someone talking to you needs to know exactly how you can help them within the first few seconds. They need to be able to go to the bio on your Instagram page or on your Facebook and see the specific problem that you're able to help them solve. And I know there are character limits, which gives you another challenge. Make it very concise and clear. Okay. So you have to know the specific problem that you're able to solve for your clients and those people that you ideally want to work with. If you don't, you have essentially lost a client. If you cannot clearly articulate the problem that you solve very quickly, you've already lost the client. Okay. So here's the thing. Some of y'all are struggling to get clients for this reason. Again, I say this because I've been through this. It's not because you can't help people. It's not because you don't have the receipts. It's not because you don't know how to. It's because you haven't clearly articulated the problem that you can solve for people. And people are not going to invest in something that they do not understand. They're not going to put their money in something that they don't know what the outcome of the investment is, unless it's something like Bitcoin or NFTs. Okay. And we're not even going to go there. All right. So you have to be clear. What is the specific problem that you solve? And I said this at the top of the live stream, right? This is not just for coaches. This is for any person in business, any entrepreneur. You have to clearly articulate the problem that you solve for your clients. So let's say you bake cakes. So you bake cakes. We got Drell on here. Dessert please 803, right? If you bake cakes, what problem do you solve for your clients? Can you create a custom cake, make a custom cake in less than 24 hours? That's a specific problem. That's for the people who are last minute, who waited to the last minute, got a party tomorrow, got a function tomorrow, they need a cake for. Can you solve their problem? Are you the caterer, the baker, or the chef that can solve their problem in a short amount of time? Or can you bake a vegan cake that still tastes good? That's a problem, a specific problem that you're solving for people who want vegan. They want to eat healthier, but they want to taste good. And honestly, if you can solve that problem, you got a customer in me, right? So what is the specific problem that you solve? And here's a great example for you guys. Whether you like their food or not, the reason that Little Caesars is still in business today is because they solve one specific problem. They said hot and ready pizza. They solved the problem for the parent who's running late from work, doesn't have time to cook dinner, and they need something that they can pick up quickly that's hot that their kids will enjoy. Little Caesars. They solved the problem for the football coach who has to feed 50 kids before a game, right? And they need something that they can distribute in mass quantities, right? They solve a problem for them. They solve a problem for the person hosting or in charge of Vacation Bible School, and they need to feed 50 kids in the middle of summer some lunch, okay, before they send them home. So they solve a specific problem. So again, the first thing that you have to do is identify the specific problem, the one specific problem that you are able to solve. And you need to clearly articulate that. When I jump on your social media profile, I need to know the problem that you can solve so that I can make the determination whether or not you're going to be the person that solves that problem for me. When I go to your sales page, I need to clearly see the problem that you solve so I know whether or not I want to invest in this product or service that you have. When I go to your website, I need to know the specific problem that you're solving so that I can determine if you're going to be the person who's going to solve it for me. So the first step, if you want to get to those 5K months or those 5-figure months, if you want to get to the first 5K, if you want to get to the 5-figure, the $10,000, the $15,000 month, the first thing that you got to do is identify the specific problem that you solve for your clients and articulate that. Okay. Number 2, the second thing that you have to do is you have to identify the specific person that has this problem that you can solve. So the first thing is identifying the problem that you can actually solve. The second thing is identifying the person that you can solve that for. So this means that you have to know who needs your help. And I'm not talking about generalities. This is where most people actually get caught up, right? Got caught up like Usher, right? This is where most people get caught up. You got to get away from the generalities. The whole I help women. Okay, that's real broad. Like what kind of women? What specific type of woman? A mom, a working professional, a single woman? Like you have to get away from generalities to being very specific, not only with the problem that you solve, but the person that you're able to help. Okay, catch my drift when I say that? So, but beyond just getting more specific on the person that you can help, you have to know where they need to be in their process or in their journey in order for you to be able to help them. Okay. So, for example, if you are doing fitness, you need to know what fitness level that person needs to be at for you to be able to help them. Do they need to be able to have mobility, right? That's a legitimate, as if you are a fitness coach, that's a legitimate thing you need to identify. Does my client, when they come in, do they have to have a certain level of mobility? Do they need to be at a specific fitness level? Do they need to have access to specific equipment in order for this thing to work? So when you're identifying the person that you can help, you need to know where in their journey they need to be in order for you to help them. Or for example, if you're a career coach, right? Do they need to be in a specific career level, at a specific career level? Do they need to be entry level, mid level? Do they need to be executive? Do they need to be C-suite? Do they need to be in a specific industry? So are you working with people in the financial sector? Are you working with people in supply chain? Like, where do they need to be in their journey? What are the specifics that they need to have in order for you to be able to effectively help them? So we're going beyond the cute random avatars that you've created and you found on Google or maybe some other coach had you create, but we are going to nail down where they need to be emotionally, where they need to be physically, where they need to be financially and mentally in order for you to be able to help them. So the first thing is identifying the specific problem, and then we need to go into identifying the specific person, where they are specifically in their journey in order for you to be able to help them. Then once you know who that person is, you actually need to start having conversations with those people. So those people who match the profile of someone that you can help, your ideal client, so to speak, right? You need to actually start initiating conversations with them. Here's the thing that I want you to get, because the internet has a lot of people fooled, right? You cannot rest on the idea that people will find you. And I know there's this whole movement of magnetic marketing and client attraction. I get all that, right? If you do the right things, people will ultimately find you. But at the end of the day, you can't rest on the fact that people are going to find you in these internet streets. Look, the streets are crowded. The streets are crowded, sis. It's crowded out here. People jaywalking. So you have to go out and find out where your people hang out and start the conversation. You do not have the privilege of being at the point where you can rest on your laurels, where people are going to find you, or people just going to find you at this point. In some cases, they do. So you cannot rest on your laurels at this point. You actually have to go to where those ideal clients are, and you need to actually start having conversations with them. Know where your people are. First, know who your people are, then know where your people are so that you can actually find them and start having those conversations. You do not have the privilege of people just flowing into you like someone who's had a brand for 20 years at this point, okay? You actually need to go out there and find those people who are going to be perfect for the solution, and who have the problem that you are able to solve. Okay. So quickly, we're about to jump to number 3. First two things I said. First thing, you got to have a specific problem that you're solving and be able to articulate that. And then the second thing is you actually have to have a specific person that you can help solve that problem for. All right. So let's jump to the third thing. So number 3, you need to develop a process to get results if you haven't done so already. I call this the 4-figure framework and curriculum. At least that's what I teach my clients, right? You have to have a method or a methodical way of getting your clients from point A to point B. You have to have a methodical way of getting your clients from point A to point B. And this is important because when they recognize that you can solve their problem, so you clearly articulated the problem that you saw, you're connecting to the right people. When they recognize that you can solve their problem, they're going to want to know how. So remember, I said, if someone asks you the question, what do you mean? Or what does that mean after interacting with you and you explaining what you do? If they say, what does that mean? You've not clearly articulated the problem that you solve. Instead, the question should be, well, how do you do that? And this is where your process comes into play. This is where you have that framework and curriculum that you walk people through to get them the results, to get them the solution that they're actually investing for. So you should be able to clearly articulate how you can help them solve their problem. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Even if you're doing one-on-one coaching, consulting, whatever, you still need a methodical process that you're going to walk clients through. You cannot be flying by the seat of your pants. You've gotten somebody somehow to enroll right with you and you're doing one-on-one and then you're making up stuff as you go. At a minimum, you got to have a framework that you're working people through that you can explain to them. This is the process that you're going to go through. Now, in between there, whether you got to adjust and modify, that's your business. As Sister Tab says, that's your business. Look, but you do need to have a framework and a process that people are going to walk through so that you can get them repeatable results. Okay. So that's what you have to have a process. I will give you an example. So recently I started going back to the chiropractor. I started going to the chiropractor because I was working out. If y'all follow me every day, at least I try to post where I work out every morning. So my goal is 30 minutes every morning to get my momentum going. Well, one day I hurt my back and I could not walk. And so I was like, well, I need to go to the chiropractor. So I went to the chiropractor. He's asking me questions, what's hurting? What is your ultimate goal? What would solving this problem look like for you? And I told him, you sound like you on a sales call, actually. But nonetheless, based on my response, he outlined a process for me to follow. So I had to go to the chiropractor 2 times a week for 8 weeks and then 1 time a week after that. He had a very clear process that I could identify with, that I could understand, that was going to get me from my point A to my point B. My inability to be able to walk, hurting when I was getting up, hurting when I was lifting my hands, to being at a place of relief. So I knew exactly what the process was for me to solve my problem. Okay. That is the very same thing that you need to have. Based on the problem that your clients are coming to you with, you as the practitioner, as the coach, as the doctor, so to speak, you need to have an identifiable process, a methodical process that's going to get them from where they are, their point A, to point B, to solve their problem. Okay. Okay. So another example, think about it. If you went to college, it was very clear the curriculum that you had to go through in order to get your degree, right? It wasn't you can take this class and then you had electives and all that stuff, but you could take this class and do this and then still get a degree. I got a degree in mechanical engineering and a master's in engineering management. It was very clear that I had to take them calculus classes. I had to take those physics classes. I had to take those engineering classes in order for me to be able to get that degree. It was very clear. For me to get the results that I came for and that I paid for, there was a very methodical process and step and curriculum and framework that I had to follow that had proven track record and proven results. So if you want to start making 5 figures per month in your business or more, you have to have a process that you can articulate to those clients. They need to know what they're investing in. And the other reason that you want to have a framework and process is they need to buy into it. Like you might say, for instance, I see Jalissa was on here. She does YouTube coaching. So they may say, well, actually, I don't want to do YouTube videos. Well, because she's identified what the process is for them to be able to market their business, they can make a clear decision that this is not the process that I want to use to grow my business. Therefore, I'm going to opt out. Speaks nothing about their you as a coach or your business, but it gives them the ability to say, yes, this is something that I can buy into, or no, this is something that I'm not willing to buy into. So that's the importance of having your process for yourself to get repeatable results for your clients and to clearly have confidence in what you're doing, but also for your clients to know exactly what they're signing up for and to decide whether or not is this the method that I actually want to go through to get the results that I'm seeking. I could have easily told the chiropractor, which I did because I think he was trying to get me to come 3 times a week. I could have easily told him, I can't do that. And then he would have been like, well, obviously you don't want the results, right? Or you need another process. And we worked out a new schedule. But nonetheless, that's what your process does for you. Okay. So we're going to jump on to number 4. The fourth thing that you need in order to get to your first 5-figure month, even your first 4-figure day, right? So you need a high ticket price. If y'all been catching this, it is all alliteration, right? Problem, person, process, price. You need a high ticket price. Let's not beat around the bush here, guys. Let's not. We're not going to do this, right? If you want to hit those 10K or more months in a simple way, you have to have a high ticket offer. I won't say you have to. The simple way is to have a high ticket offer. And by that, I mean $2,000 or more, if not $3,000 or more. So here's the thing. If you're going to do the work to sell something high ticket. If you're going to put the effort in to selling something, sell something high ticket. Get the most bang for your effort. And I've done it both ways. Again, I'm speaking from experience under all these tips I'm giving you. I've done it both ways. I've sold low ticket and high ticket. And I'll tell you this, it takes way more effort to convert more people at a lower price than the time that it takes and effort that it takes to convert one person at a higher price, because you're trying to get volume, and simply attracting one person who is willing to pay a higher price is a lot easier than to attract 100 people or more to buy a lower ticket price. And quite honestly, if you're coaching and you are actually solving a real profitable problem, it should be price premium. And people will pay premium, and they will probably question if you're not charging premium, because then they're going to wonder, well, is this legit, or is she as good as she says she is? Okay. So if you want to hit those higher number months, right, you need a higher number offer. All right. So price according to the value and ultimately your goals. I'll say that again, price according to the value and ultimately your goals. Coaching is not a commodity industry. It is not. I don't have to care what my peers are charging for their service. It has no impact on me. This is not Target and Walmart where we are price matching, because we are not. We are not the same. We are not the same. All right. So you need to be willing to price yourself accordingly. And people will be willing to pay high ticket if they can see the value in what it is that you are bringing. If they can see that you can solve a problem for them that they are in dire need of help with. Okay. So again, if you want to get to that 10K month mark or more, the fastest way to do it is by having a high ticket offer that you're selling to less people. So if you want to make a 5K month, have a 5K offer. It's as simple as that. All you need is one person. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to repeat what I said in the beginning. It's simple, but I never said it was easy. It's very simple, but not necessarily easy, because if it was easy, more people would be doing it. Okay. Takes a lot more consistency and persistence, but is a very simple strategy that once you can get the process down and once you can get in your mind that it's easier than you think it is, you can write your own check. All right. All right. So then the next thing, the number 5, you need to have a platform. You need to have a platform. Okay. What do I mean by this? Determine which platform you're going to use to engage with your ideal client to introduce your solution to them. I already told y'all, most of us don't have the privilege of not having to do anything to get clients, right? So you need to determine what platform you're going to use to engage with those people who are going to need the solution that you can provide to their problem. So, in my opinion, and I assume you guys value it because you are here, for actual engagement and the social aspect of being able to connect with your ideal audience, I suggest Instagram. However, it could be LinkedIn, it could be Facebook, it could be wherever else your audience is. That's where you need to go to connect with your people. So the last thing that you need to do is actually find a platform and stick to that platform, connect with those ideal people who need the solution that you can solve. Find the platform and engage. Don't be bopping around every week trying to find the new hottest strategy, the new hottest platform, because everybody was on Clubhouse at one point. Haven't heard about it since. Okay. So find the platform where your audience is and you want to actually engage with them and initiate those conversations. Okay. So let's recap. So number one, you need to focus on one problem. You need to focus on one person. You need to focus on one process. You need to focus on one price, a high ticket price, and you need to focus on one platform. Now, of course, I show you exactly how to do all of this in the Monetized Mom Accelerator, which is my signature program that teaches coaches just like you how to develop your four-figure framework, create your program, and enroll your first high-ticket client. So if you are ready to get your first high-ticket client, you're ready to get to that 10, 15K month, five-figure month, I want you to DM me the word ready. As always, I hope that you found this episode helpful. If you did, don't forget to subscribe, share, and leave a review. And with that, I'll talk to you in the next episode.